Hey everybody, welcome back to the Dan Frampton YouTube channel, and today we're going to talk about a band that I've never talked about on the channel before, okay? This is going to be first time ever type stuff. I can't believe I went all of these years without talking about this band. I'm just joking. I'm doing another Blink-182 video because they dropped more material and I got to talk about it. Today, they put out a video for their song Dance With Me, which is going to be another little teaser that we get for their record that comes out in 2 weeks time. It's going to be called One More Time apparently, and these guys are back doing their thing, and this time they're paying tribute. They're doing a little bit of a parody to the biggest punk rock band to ever influence other punk rock bands. You know, I'm talking about the Ramones. We're going to be talking about all that today. Hey, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day. I'm the internet's most ruthless gatekeeper, Dan Frampton, and I'm here to gatekeep pop punk the way God intended. We're going to talk about this new Blink-182 stuff. But before we do, you gotta do me a favor. Hit some likes, hit some subscribes, you know what I mean? If you wanna join the channel and become a member of the secret society, you might get access to the most exclusive stuff that you've ever imagined in your entire life. Okay, with all that out of the way, let's talk about this video, okay? Now, if you're familiar with punk rock, if you're familiar with rock and roll history, this sort of image here should conjure some emotions and should bring some nostalgia back to you, okay? Because here we got Blink-182 looking like they're doing exactly the I Wanna Be Sedated music video, which they basically are, okay? They're basically recreating this whole kind of thing. Because look at this over here. You got the Blink-182 version here, and then you got the Ramones version over here, all right? It's got them sitting in the little table, all the stuff going on in the background. It starts to get crazier and crazier. There's like the cereal box or whatever. But that's not the only thing that they're paying tribute to the old Ramones with, all right? It starts off with this little interview, and she's all like, hey, you guys are the Ramones, tell me about punk rock. You guys are like punk rock, right? This whole interview over here is from The Tomorrow Show in 1981, and this is the real version of it, where it's basically the same thing, but like an extended 9-minute version of it. And I just want to mention the cosplay here that we got Blink-182 in, because I do have a couple critiques. Although I do like the striped shirt that we got going on over here. You know, striped meets stripes, pretty good. You got the old leather jackets going all the way across, pretty good. But if you want to just take a look at the tightness of these pants, all right? Severely tight. Now, if you go over to the Blink-182 one, not as tight. Maybe a bit of a boot cut endeavor going on here. You know what I mean? And also the Ramones are very, very famous for their crop tops and showing their bellies a little bit. And it's kind of hard to see here. Maybe they're not rocking the crop top during the interview. But anyway, he's all zipped up. He might have a little belly shirt going on under here. But can't really tell. So I gotta say that the cosplay is maybe a 6 out of 10, even though they look like they're kind of doing it all right. So we got obviously Tom over here doing his best Joey impression. You got on the end the drummer doing an impression of the guitar player. So you got Travis looking like Johnny, and then Mark is just like an amalgamation of all of them. So aesthetically it's kind of there, and maybe you don't want it to be 100% bang on, but I'm kind of liking what I'm seeing over here, all right? And then when this song kicks in, all right, we got this music video playing here, and Tom's voice is the Tom's voice that I enjoy so much from the Dude Ranch era, from a little bit of the Enema of the State era. You know what I mean? He is really getting snotty out there in his vocals, and I gotta love to say it, because these guys are like writing a love letter to the punk rock that actually got them there, and they're doing it effectively. Now, they're not going to come out here and do a Descendants cover or do a Descendants thing, which would be more in line with their actual roots. But this Ramones stuff was a great call because of the cultural relevance of it all, and because the Ramones are just simply infinitely influential, all right? The double eyes. So I gotta say, I like this, and I like this for a whole bunch of reasons, and I'm gonna tell you right now, alright? Because normally I like to make enemies videos, and I like to put people on the list But right now, I gotta celebrate this a little bit alongside these guys over here. I'm a lifelong Ramones fan. I absolutely adore them. So seeing them celebrated like this is a very exciting thing, especially in 2023, right? It kind of reminds you, hey, this is the kind of stuff that brought us all here. And it makes my channel feel like it has kind of a place on YouTube right now. Because if you're running a punk rock YouTube channel in the year 2023, goddamn, this is an uphill climb. It is not culturally relevant. People do not care about punk rock. If you say to like a normie out there on the streets that you listen to punk rock, they'll be like, what is that? Is it like Nirvana? And you go, yeah, I guess kind of. Yeah, sort of that. So it's kind of cool that Blink-182 is providing these cultural touchstones that you can be like, yeah, kind of, I guess like that, but kind of like Blink-182, I guess, kind of like the Ramones, I guess, but yeah, kind of like Nirvana, I guess so as well, you know? But just because you'd have to explain what punk rock is to anybody is gonna tell you how irrelevant it actually is out there in the real world. And then there are all the subgenres of the subgenres. So once you get to like hardcore or beatdown, literally nobody out there knows what hardcore or beatdown is. If you say the word hardcore to anybody out there on the street, they think you're talking about the old pornographies, all right? And if you put 3 X's together, they also think you're talking about the old pornographies, all right? So they don't know about hardcore. Nobody cares about hardcore in the actual world. So nobody actually cares about punk rock out there in the actual world. So when you get these guys, Blink-182, who are on the comeback of a lifetime, they are on a comeback that every band dreams that they could be on. So for them to be actually like, yeah, we're celebrating us being here, but we're also celebrating all the stuff that got us here to begin with. And I love all that. That fits thematically with what they're doing right now. You know what I mean? Strangers to brothers, brothers back to strangers, and the glue that held us all together was this punk rock music. So all of that works from a motif perspective, all right? Now I don't think Blink-182 necessarily went into their record thinking, what is going to be the best motif thematically for our project? They definitely would have went into it with a bit of emotion and a vision, but I guess what I'm trying to say here is that I'm refreshed that that vision is actually coming to fruition. But I don't want to be bit in the arse, all right? I don't want to be snagged out the door, because if you remember, earlier on in this year, Rancid put out a bunch of teasers that were awesome. These teasers kicked my ass every day, all right? And I was like, I can't wait for this project. Then the project came out and it was mid. It was the most mid thing I've ever seen. Now I know that's an oxymoron, most mid, but yeah, it was the most mid. So Blink-182 really do have a hell of a hill to climb in order to impress me on a full-length record. And they happen to be doing a pretty good job so far from an emotional perspective, from a storytelling perspective, and kind of from a songwriting perspective as well. The first song that they put out wasn't really feeling it. Then those 2 other songs they put out, I was kind of feeling them. And then this, I'm definitely on board to hear the whole project. And if this thing is solid from front to back, produced, recorded by Travis Barker, I will have so many flowers to give these guys, all right? Okay, did you hear this song? What did you think of this song? Do you like the Ramones? Let me know. Okay, I'm gonna get out of here. All right, see you later.